Econ Easy. So today's session is going to be about the opportunity cost. I know it's a topic that causes a lot of struggle for many students. It's not easy to understand, so I will try to make it as clear as possible. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave me a comment or send me an email, and I will be glad to help you. So let me start with the definition. The opportunity cost is basically the value of the next best foregone alternative. It is the value of the thing you didn't do in order to do something else, or the thing you didn't buy in order to buy something else. It's not very clear, but it will become clearer with the examples, don't worry. Why it is important to understand this concept? Well, it's because we talk about that a lot in economics, especially in microeconomics, because this is basically how agents take decisions by looking at their opportunity cost. And when I say agents, I mean firms as well as individuals like you and me. So that's a very important concept. So we will look at two examples today. First, we will look at this opportunity cost question from a producer point of view. And our producer is France, and the country can decide to either produce only wine, and in this case it produces 9 tons of wine, or it can decide to produce only beer, and in that case they produce only 5 tons of beer. Okay? And so how to interpret that table? Well, we say that the opportunity cost of France of producing 9 tons of wine is 5 tons of beer. Okay, but we could make it clearer. So basically, from what we have here, I can say that 9W, 9 tons of wine, is equivalent to 5 tons of beer. Okay, but I would like to know how much 1 ton of wine is costing me in terms of beer that are not produced. So what I do is that I divide both sides by 9, and I get that 1 ton of wine is equivalent to 0.56 tons of beer. So that's the opportunity cost. And what it says is that basically by producing 1 ton of wine, I could have produced instead 0.56 tons of beer. Okay? So if we looked at it the other way around and said that 5 tons of beer are equivalent to 9 tons of wine, I divide both sides by 5 this time to get 1 ton of beer. I have that 1 ton of beer is equal to 1.8 ton of wine. So basically, producing 1 ton of beer costs me, or cost France, 1.8 tons of wine. They could have produced 1.8 tons of wine. And usually, when they have to decide what to produce, they will pick the lowest opportunity cost. So they will produce wine basically because it costs less beer than it costs wine if you look at it from the other way around. Okay? Let's move to the next example. And this time, we look at it from an individual point of view, like I will take myself, for example. So I have a choice between going to the movies or going to the theater or going bowling. And my willingness to pay, that I denote WTP here, for each of these activities is 25 for the movies, 40 for the theater, and 10 for the bowling. I don't really like it. And the actual prices are 15 for the movies, 38 for the theater, and 12 for the bowling. And so basically, the first step is to look at the surplus. The surplus is the difference between the willingness to pay and the price. And so here we have 10, 2, and minus 2. All right, and now the second step is to determine the opportunity cost. And to do that, remember from the definition, we have to look at the best next foregone alternative. So how do we do that? We look actually at the surpluses. So if I decide to go to the movies, the next higher surplus after 10 is 2. So that's my opportunity cost. Now, if I go to the theater, it's either minus 2 or 10. Obviously, it is 10, which is the next best foregone alternative. And same goes for following. So what do we have now? What do we conclude? Well, I can conclude that I will go to the movies because it is the activity with the lowest opportunity cost. That's the activity that makes me lose the less, if we want. That makes me the happiest. Because here my opportunity cost is 2, but here it is 10, which is way higher. Okay, so we will always pick the possibility, the alternative, with the lowest opportunity cost. That's what you have to keep in mind. So that's it for today. I hope that this video helped you understand the concept of opportunity cost better. Don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and even leave a comment if you like. And I will see you in my other videos. So I'll see you soon. Bye.